This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
What's going on, everybody? Crispy Bacon here. Welcome to Morning Tailgate here on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I'm here with Big B. How you doing, Big B?
I'm doing okay. Just heading into work. Get to talk a little football with you, and then I know Tim will be on shortly. So just can't wait for another exciting week of football. No purple today.
Yes.
So
gold and purple.
Yep, no purple and gold today. They are at the bye week.
Yeah, how did that bye week feel? I know you're one of the last two teams. Your team is one of the final two teams undefeated heading into the bye week.
I mean, listening to the players talk, they always look for that bye week to kind of recoup, especially after coming home from travel overseas. As a fan, you kind of want to see them keep rolling. They're 5-0. The bye week, you can get healthy again, but you got 11, 12 games left in the season. So right now, the bye week's good, but we're not dealing with any big injuries. Oh God, I wish this bye week was a few more weeks out. To be in the middle of the season, but it is what it is. As a fan, you just watch the football in the background, you do some housework, take care of business, and watch your fantasy teams, I guess. But we're sitting here along with the Chiefs at 5-0, and hopefully we can keep it going after the bye week.
Yeah, I think keeping the momentum after the bye week, especially when you're a team that's undefeated like you and the Chiefs, and you're on that bye week, that's the big key is momentum. A lot of people don't think momentum is a real thing, but it is.
It is to a point. A lot of momentum, though. Yeah, coming out of the bye week is still. I think the key for teams themselves, the momentum's inside the game itself. I was just listening to this before we jumped on. One of the announcers for the Bears game today said that Jacksonville needs to come out and hit the Bears hard. Well, the Bears hit them hard, got the fumble, so the momentum's in the Bears' favor. So, but moving on, I mean, it's just, the players want to be in the momentum stage. How are they going to come out of the bye week? And I think it sets up perfect because their first game coming out is against the Lions, who were picked to be the AFC representative, in the playoffs, in the title game, possibly Super Bowl. I picked the Lions to even be in the Super Bowl against Houston. So, Vikings had that probably message on their message board in the locker room. So, for them to be Lions, I think that's going to be a big game next week.
You got the prime moves here. Tim, how you doing?
Not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad here. What do you think of, we were talking about teams on bye, like the Chiefs and Vikings. How do you think that would affect the rest of the season because now they got the bye week.
Bye week. The thing is, it's sometimes it helps, and especially when you're a team like the two teams like Minnesota and Kansas City. You're riding a hot streak. You're 5-0. Any time to take a bye week just to get your head right and get yourself ready for week 7. I think it might come in at the right time, like Brandon had said, that you get Detroit right as soon as you come out of the bye week. It gives you another week prepared for the team that everybody figured was going to be in the NFC Championship game. Kansas City comes out, and the first team they look at when they come out of the bye week is, let me take a look, is San Francisco. So you get an extra week to look at two teams that we thought were big powerhouses, and don't sleep on San Francisco. It gives you a chance to get you ready, and then who else is left? You got the Rams, and you got Miami. It gives Miami another week to possibly rest Tua if they're thinking about getting Tua to start in week 7. Then you get the Rams who needs the any time a rest can help at this point, especially when you're down 2 players like Puka and Cooper Kupp. It's always good to rest those guys. I think the bye week came at the right time for all 4 teams.
Okay, gotcha. So I got a question. I've been seeing a lot on my I've seen a lot on my Facebook feed with the top 2 picks. So this is kind of like a one tough question here. Are the Bears, kind of backpedaling and thinking they made the wrong decision on taking Daniels over Williams? What do you guys think? I've been seeing a lot of people say that the Bears are kicking themselves, and I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think you got to look at the system. Go ahead, Bacon. I didn't mean to.
I was going to say, based on this game, I don't know. No, you're good. Based on this game, I don't know.
I think you have to look at the systems too. You have to look at the systems that they were going into. Jaden Daniels might be more fit for the Commanders system, and he may not have been well fit under Eberflus. Where Williams, who may not be just as fast. I think Williams start at USC after his 3rd year? So
I think so, yeah.
So, he may not pick up things as fast. You got to remember, I think Jaden Daniels was the starter pretty much from his 2nd year. So I don't think that's and it's LSU, if I'm not mistaken, with Daniels.
Yeah.
You got to look at the systems that they're going into. I don't think the Bears are necessarily regretting it. Bear fans might be, but that's a little too early to make those type of assumptions on quarterbacks like that, because you still have to deal with learning curves and pros versus college. And I think Washington just happened to build a better system for Daniels quicker to make him get more acclimated, because I think they're running more of a college type system than Chicago, where Chicago was running more of a pro type system. And if he's and thing is, if Daniel succeeds this year with a college type system, wait until they start really putting in a pro type system where he's learning. I think they're adding more and more every week to a pro type system with Daniels, which means he'll be even more ready for next year when it's going to be a complete pro type system under the Commanders coaching staff.
Timmy said that, going from a college system and then, maybe the system fits, but wouldn't the Commanders just start to keep the playbook to what Daniels likes to do instead of trying to keep adding and be like, okay, this is working for us. So
They still might, but here's you got to look at it. The fact is when other coaching staff start looking at it, going, oh, they're just running a college system. They may just start
that's
thinking
true.
that they're running that the pro system should be able to run over a college system. Well, you start adding pro wrinkles into a college system. Now you're second guessing. You got more of a hybrid more of a hybrid with a college pro system.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Just not totally change the system. Just trying to be okay.
You don't throw out as the old saying is, you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. You kind of just keep adding in wrinkles, and you kind of
okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you keep make sure that you keep the coaching staff keep guessing.
And if you want, you can also go back and forth if he's really good at the pro offense. 1 week he can run college, 1 week he can run pro.
Right.
And then teams will be like, well, what offense is he going to run today? I don't know. But the Bears are in London. It's 21-3.
Nice.
A little bit into the third quarter.
Who got that third touchdown? Because I know Clement has two.
The last touchdown. I don't know who actually scored it, but Bears got
Keenan Allen on a 9-yarder.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Is that fantasy implications there?
It does for me.
I don't think I have. I was just kind of curious because I'm like, God, if whoever's playing Komet got another touchdown, man, you might as well just wrap it right now because 3 touchdowns from a tight end is unheard of.
The Bears defense is playing well.
Yeah. Well, then again, Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville shot their wad last week against Indy.
Yeah. Luckily, they'll get another chance next week.
Why we got in? Wait, we got Indy next. Jacksonville's got Indy next week.
Oh, I think they're overseas again.
Oh,
Jacksonville plays over.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they're at New England. They got New England next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. Who in our league got Komet? Let's see. Let's give that a look.
And I hope he's sitting on the bench.
Komet. I said to start Komet too. That was the weirdest thing is I remember starting.
Yeah. Oh.
Cole Komet. Who's sitting in Komet? Who's sitting with Komet? Who's MA? Who's MA? Please tell me.
That's me.
That's you.
You got Komet on your team?
Apparently.
Just rub it in some more, Tim. Rub it in some more.
Guess who's on the bench? You don't have Komet. You're safe, bud.
Oh,
okay.
Who's got Komet?
He doesn't have. But here's the thing: is I'm going to tell you now, there, Bacon. You need to put a new quarterback in, and you need to replace Kelsey, and you need to replace Jordan Addison because they're all on bye weeks.
You better hurry up too.
I will. I'll be multitasking.
Komet. Nobody so far. Komet.
Player,
No,
you should be okay.
That's Geno Smith. Komet. Who in the world has got Komet? Oh, please don't tell me it's me.
Maybe nobody.
No, because there's somebody. Mess Around's got Komet, and he started him, and he's on a bye week. Mess Around's got Caleb Williams. He's got Swift. He's got Deebo Samuel, and he's got Cole Komet. He's got on a bye week. He's got 80.6 points. and he started 4 players.
Wow. So, all right, let's get into those games.
I don't feel bad anymore.
Wow.
But yeah, let's get into that.
But as for this, what?
Huh?
As for this week goes, let's look. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. as for this week, here's our game picks for the week. I can't speak. Who does everybody have for Jacksonville and Chicago? I know we did it in the chat, but
Well,
Can I say the Bears in the lock, or is that too late?
I think it's way too late for that.
I'm just kidding. No, I took the Bears. I took the Bears.
I took the Bears
I
too.
did too.
So.
Yeah. You got the Cardinals and the Packers kicking off the noon games. Green Bay's at home. Tim, who do you got?
You know the way the Cardinals have been playing. I don't care if they're a 5.5 point favorite. The Cardinals have been playing up to every team that they've played so far this year. You know, they've beaten teams that I didn't think they were going to beat. We're looking at. I'm looking at a matchup that I want to see that I think is going to be fun to watch is Marvin Harrison and Jair Alexander. I think that's going to be a great matchup all day long. I just don't think, and I kind of hinted to it on Wednesday for on the Couch Fantasy Zone that I was heading towards to Green Bay. I think Green Bay still it's such a high powered offense with the 5th best offense. You're looking at the 25th worst defense and the 25th best defense in Arizona. I think Green Bay still has too much firepower, especially with Josh Jacobs. Even I like Green Bay in this game, but I think this game is going to be a lot closer than Packer fans are going to want.
So you're picking Arizona?
I'm picking Green Bay, Arizona.
What it sounded like? I don't know.
It did sound like I got what Chris is thinking. So, for me, I got Green Bay. Pretty much Tim laid it out, and I do agree. I think it is going to be closer than the Packer fans want. Excuse me. I think Arizona's going to try and put some pressure on Love to see how healthy he is. And right away, like the Vikings did a few weeks ago. But, yeah, I got Green Bay, and I think this one will be a close one. This game could turn out to be a good game to watch.
Yeah, I think so, too. I'm going Green Bay as well. Arizona has kept it close a little bit, but maybe, Love can get back on the winning streak for Green Bay and, win against, I wouldn't say their rival, but they've had some close matchups in the past and in the playoffs and in the regular season. So I think it should be a fun matchup. Tim, your Colts are going up against Tennessee. Who do you have for this one?
I get the news this morning that it looks like Richardson might be a go for this game. On that alone makes me want to change my pick. We've got no Jonathan Taylor, and now we've got a guy. We've got Michael Pittman, who supposedly was supposed to be ready to go to the IR. Maybe a go for this game as well. We've got no Jonathan Taylor, like I said earlier. No Juju Brents, who's been on IR. Kenny Moore the third is a game time decision, but I'm probably not expecting him to play. I hope it's Flacco. Please, dear God, I hope it's Flacco that starts. Against my better judgment, I am going to go with the Colts. I am not going to do like I did last week and make it my lock. I'm not going to go ahead and go against the unwritten rules thing again. But I'm going to go. I'm going to go with the Colts because I think that it's still Will Levis. It's so funny to say that Will Levis may gift us a couple interceptions, and I'm kind of hoping he does because I think this game is going to be a lot closer if he doesn't. But I have to make sure I get this right. I have the Colts.
All right, Big B.
Well, the Colts, this might be the only 10 they see today. I got Tennessee in this game. I mean, Colts are hurting, like Tim stated. Yes, Levis has been up and down. Gifted some teams some wins that probably shouldn't happen, but I just think the injury bug's going to battle them. And Tim, I know you're on the bandwagon with Flacco right now, but if Richardson's healthy, they're going to go with their franchise quarterback, which I think will put the little dagger in them. So I'm going Tennessee.
I'm going Indianapolis. Looking at both sides, quarterback. I feel like even with the backup in Flacco and in Richardson, in there, I feel like Colts have the better quarterback. We'll say duo there. I'm going with the Colts. Not as a lock, but I'll go with the Colts. Next pick, we have Houston and New England. I think I know where everybody's going, but Big B, who do you got?
Patriots are the lock. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just, yeah. If I did that, I should probably go right to my clinic here and get drug tested. No, I think Houston's got this one. I mean, I kind of hope they give them a battle. Because I think Drake May's starting today. I think
He is.
yeah. So if I'm Houston, I'm putting the pressure on. Putting the pressure on that young kid. I don't want to make this my lock because it was kind of an easy lock, but I'm going to straight up. I think Houston's going to win this one.
Tim?
Yeah, we're talking probably one of the more complete teams in the NFL right now. They're down Nico Collins. He's on the IR, but they're getting Joe Mixon back. I just think this team is far too scary. I think their one loss was a fluke. Let's double check. You're going to tell me, no, they've got 2 losses. No, they got 1. You're starting at Drake May.
A fluke loss to Minnesota. That's 5-0. Oh.
No, I'm glad you did what you did because that's the only way we were a game behind you guys and behind them in the division. That's the only way that works. They might be down Nico Collins, but that doesn't make a difference when you've got 2 other wide receivers there that could make it look like a track meet. Just with Stroud and Stefan Diggs and Tank Dell, it kind of has a mirror image a little bit of maybe the greatest show on turf with what they can do on the wide receiver side of the football. Yeah, New England, you're basically what worse way you could start Drake May, with the 31st worst offense, 31st best offense in the league, going against the 4th best defense in the league. And you gave him Drake May. At this point, you've just decided to put a little mouse in the trap, is what you just did. I've got Houston, and I want to be. This is the one game I want to be wrong, where Houston all of a sudden wakes up, or New England wakes up, but I don't see that happening. I've got Houston, and I think it's going to be by a lot.
Yeah,
I got Houston too. Patriots are not ready. It seems like ever since Brady left, they just been downhill from there.
They had that one good year with Mac Jones, and that was it.
That's true. But for the most part, it's been downhill.
So Chris is saying the Patriots are not ready for Oscar. Okay.
All right.
Sure.
Travis Etienne questionable for return against the Bears.
Yeah, I'm okay. He's on my bye week team.
Yeah.
But the Bears are playing.
Yeah.
Yep. Next.
All right. So we have Buccaneers and Saints. I know the Saints are starting their backup quarterback. Tim, who do you got?
Oh, I hate Spencer Rattler. I hate him with such a passion that If anybody, Bacon, I asked Big B this question, but have you watched? Did you watch quarterback? Did you watch QB1 on Netflix or not?
No.
Yeah, QB1. Back when Spencer Rattler was on it. Oh my Lord, that I've never seen such an egotistical driven person in my entire life, and I've watched Tom Brady. I think this defense is going to make Spencer retire early. I think this is. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I know the defense is the 30th best defense in the league, but I don't like Spencer. I don't think they have Taysom Hill this week.
I'd rather them play. I know he's not. Yeah, I know he's out.
So at this point, just on the fact is that Taysom Hill is out, right there should tell you you need to take Tampa Bay. And guess what, kids? I'm making it my lock.
Oh. Big D.
Well, I'm not going to make it my lock because I was going to, but I don't want to double up there. But yeah, Buccaneers are going to just have a field day with this kid today. If he gets beat up like we're predicting, man, I wouldn't want to come out at halftime, and just pack up my bags and just go home. But yeah, if I'm Tampa Bay, just like Houston, I'm going to run everything at this guy, blitz after blitz, and just see how he can handle things. Because he's gonna be rattled. They're gonna rattle him quick. So yeah, I got Bucks, and if Tim didn't take his lock for this, I would have taken my lock. But yeah, right. the Bucks.
I've got breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Anthony Richardson is not starting today for the Colts.
Didn't you say that last night though?
No, they just no. I didn't say no. I didn't say that last night. It just got announced that Flacco was starting today against the Titans.
All right, there you go.
Huh. Oh, you said Jonathan Taylor was out. Okay.
Yep, I said Taylor was out.
All right. No, I got Tampa Bay as well. I feel like if Taysom Hill was playing, I'd rather have him as the back or the starting quarterback for the Saints.
Oh, I agree.
I don't think Hill would have started. I think they would have played him at tight end. They would have used him more, but I think he would have started at tight end.
He's a tight end. He's a running back. He's a fullback. He's everything.
He's a hybrid slash. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Kermit of the Bears because Kermit is now the long snapper today too.
Yeah,
you guys didn't know that.
Yeah, he did good. He's doing good so far.
Yep.
Earlier on, Jacksonville got a touchdown, so it's 21-10. About 3 minutes to go in the third. Next game we have Cleveland and Philadelphia. Big B, who do you got for this one?
Cleveland and Philadelphia, man. Ooh. I got to go with Philly. I mean, they are still the powerhouse. I know they've been kind of up and down and just not the Philadelphia that everybody thought going into the season. But the Browns, on the other hand, don't know what they're doing either because they got, a lot of issues around there. So I'm going to go Philly. I'm going to make this my lock of the week. Philly is going to take it to the Browns and send the dog pound home in a dog kennel. So I got Phillies. Hey guys, I gotta get to work. Have a good day.
All right, B. All right, Tim, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm looking at this. You gave Nick Sirianni a chance to get ready for the Cleveland Browns. Not like you needed a week for the Cleveland Browns, but it's still the Cleveland Browns. My bigger question is when is Cleveland going to start thinking about trying to save their season and trying to get away from Deshaun Watson at this point? Because they've got a serviceable backup quarterback, and it's like they don't want to go to him. You gave him all the opportunity, and this defense in Philadelphia is going to be enough to go up against what is considered the worst offense in the league right now in Cleveland. Yeah, just that on spec by the Philadelphia offense and defense alone, I'm taking Philadelphia.
Same here. I'm going Philadelphia on this one. Cleveland Browns, they had success a couple of years and then they just fell off the map. But they seem like to do that every year. They need to get away from Watson. I agree, and just try something. I feel like at this point you're out of the playoff race, not mathematically, but at this point you kind of feel like you are.
But what Flacco's doing in Indy right now? Do you think that they should have kept Flacco at this point?
Yes, but I think they feel like their hands were tied because of Watson. They paid him all that money. He's been injured off and on, and I feel like to them they didn't think they gave him any good chances to win.
Right.
I disagree with that, but
I completely disagree with that too.
But I think that's how they feel. They're like, well, you've been injured a lot. You haven't had much time here. We have to start you.
Yes.
But I'm going Philadelphia. Washington going to Baltimore to face the Ravens. This one's a toss-up, but Tim, who do you got?
This one I think is going to be the game of the day. I think we're going to really see what Jaden Daniels. We talked about him earlier in the show already. What he's going to do. This is a great test. You got no Brian Robinson for the Commanders. I have a feeling it's going to be on the defenses on both sides of the ball. I think the defenses are going to be. They're gonna be put to the test because you got the fourth best offense in Washington. You've got the first best offense in Baltimore. Like I said, this is going to be the day. This is going to be the game of the day. You got. I think this is going to be. I think this is going to be interesting. I really, really think this is the game that everybody should be watching. And I don't care if you have a favorite team, but this is going to be the game that everybody should watch. This may end up being the game of the year. I know the Ravens. I know the Ravens are a 6.5 point favorite. I think this is going to go to overtime. I'm going to take the Commanders by a field goal.
Ooh, by a field goal. I see. This is what I mean. I have it back and forth because Ravens are good, not as good as Washington, but they're good. I got Baltimore. I think Daniels might not know the running quarterback situation,
Right.
Like he might not be used to it. Granted, he was in college, and that's pretty much what they do. But I go back and forth.
Mixon is in for today's game for Houston. They just announced it.
And Big B sent me a message.
He sent me a message.
But But I got Baltimore.
Right.
Next you have the Chargers going up against Denver. Bo Nix has been playing really well though, or the last few weeks. I wouldn't say the entire year, but he's been playing better. And then you got the Chargers with Herbert. But who do you got for this game?
I think this is going to be a good game. I really do. I know Herbert's playing, but Herbert's been playing on a high ankle sprain lately. I think it's because of the defense that I went out on a couple of loopy loops this week trying to pick teams and trying to push a 14-0 across the board. I don't know if I'm going to do it now, especially after this pick, the last two picks with the Commanders. But I think Denver is going to win in a shootout.
Denver in a shootout?
Denver in a shootout.
A kicking shootout or a passing shootout?
I think it's going to be a passing shootout.
Ooh. Yeah, Bo Nix has been playing a little bit better. That's not saying much, but
No.
I got Denver in this one. No.
You have Denver in this
No,
one?
I
Cool.
won't
Cool.
make him a lot.
Oh, no. Well, go ahead. You're good, man. I'm not a I'm
Yeah.
not a peer pressure kind of guy.
Uh, you want me
No, no, no.
to make him a lot?
No. You pick what you want as a lock. I mess with people.
Next. Okay. Next game we have the Steelers and the Raiders. I know James isn't on; he had something going on, but you got the Steelers and the Raiders. I think everybody knows where we're going with this one. But Tim, who do you got?
Yeah, this is a 1970s type of
Matchup.
da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da. Yeah, it's a old back in the Chuck Noll, John Madden, Tom
Madden.
Flores days. I like this. I think matter of fact, I think Aiden O'Connell is starting this game too,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. And I think, and that's
Oh,
again, that is the worst team that you need to. That is another defense you don't want to start against if you're starting a young quarterback. Is a team like Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh needs this to make it uncomfortable for Baltimore in the AFC North race. Um, no Cordell Patterson for Pittsburgh. No, probably no Jacoby Myers, and definitely no Devontae Adams for Las Vegas. Yeah, I like Pittsburgh just because you got the O'Connell, and it's another one you throw. This is another quarterback you throw everything in the kitchen sink at, and especially when you're going to face somebody like T.J. Watt. I don't think I want to be the quarterback that's wearing a different color jersey at that time.
no, I wouldn't either. Even though Pittsburgh lost last week against Dallas in a nail biter, uh, they still have a really good defense. They have a good offense. It just didn't work out for them last week. I got the Steelers in this one. Uh, I hope O'Connell can, get the win for the Raiders though, because they really need it. And but at the same time too, I don't know if you should start O'Connell. And then the Steelers are being vague about what's going on. I think with Wilson a little bit.
Right.
Either
Looks like.
say, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say either you say we're gonna go with Fields the entire year until otherwise, or just
No,
don't.
you have to stay with Fields. What Fields has done is far and away better than what he's done in what he did in Chicago. I think they gave him it's almost like they opened up
Right.
the complete playbook to him, and I think and they gave him and then the other thing is he's what it was in Chicago. He had 4 or 5 different offensive coordinators. He never had the same offensive coordinator year after year. So you're turning around and learning a new system every year. You don't see that type of turnover in Pittsburgh. You're never going to see that type of turnover in Pittsburgh. And I think that's going to benefit Fields so much more.
It will. I think it will. The last 3 picks for Big B was the Ravens, the Broncos, and the Steelers. He also made more picks, but we'll get to those as we move along. But he's got the Ravens, Broncos, and the Steelers. I think that's pretty much on the same page as us. Next up, you have Detroit going back to Dallas, face the Cowboys. It's Detroit, but I'm going with Dallas. They've been riding the hot hand lately. They've been on a winning streak a little bit. Hopefully that continues. But it is Detroit. Hopefully the Lions don't make the mistake they had last season, where they didn't report somebody eligible.
So you got to rub that one in, right? I'm glad. I'm starting to understand. I'm starting to think I'm glad my sister's not watching this show at this point.
But I'm going with the Cowboys. Tim, who do you got?
I don't think Detroit's going to make that same mistake. Plus, you have to remember that Detroit had a bye week, so they got ready for you, and I think they spent the whole bye week practicing how to go up and to make themselves eligible. I think it would be if that's how it goes, we're gonna we're gonna have a big problem. I'll laugh if that's what happens again. I was so bad. I like what Detroit's doing. The bye week came at the right time for them. I've got Detroit in this game.
Big B has the Cowboys in this game, and we're watching the London game. Bears had a touchdown earlier. It's 28-10. They just did the kickoff after the Bears touchdown. Looks like there's a fumble on the play during the kickoff return. Ball comes out. They're saying it's Jacksonville's ball.
Oh man.
Bears
being Chicago. All right, cool.
I would review that, but okay.
It gets reviewed. It gets reviewed anyway because it's a turnover
on the kickoff.
Even if it's on a kickoff, it's still reviewed as a turnover.
Maybe they did a quick review of it, but it's Jacksonville's ball. Next, you have the Falcons and the Panthers. I think I know where you're going with this, and I think I know where Big B's going with this. But who's your pick?
I like Kirk Cousins in this game. He's got a lot of weapons. I think Big B and our guest, Kev, had it. I think we all went outside that, outside of Chuba Hubbard, there's really not much in Carolina. I apologize now to you, Sarge. So I'm not going to look at the camera when I bring this pick up. I've got Atlanta. I just like what Atlanta's doing. They've got a nice set of triplets there with Cousins and Bijan and Drake London. Moody comes out of nowhere. I think it's going to be a not even a close game. They might actually have a quintet there with Pitts as well. The only thing that makes me question this pick is the fact is that it's still the Red Ryder BB gun back there for Carolina and not Bryce Young. I like Atlanta in this game though.
I do too. I like Atlanta. Big B likes Atlanta. Earlier, applying the pressure on YouTube says, "Let's go Lions." Hopefully, the Falcons can continue their winning streak. They played good that last couple Thursdays back, and I think that game against the Saints, we're winning the overtime. They played well. So, last minute for Warwick's, I guess. Next, we move on to our final Sunday game. I don't know why they put it on Sunday Night Football. I wish I could flex it right now. Yeah. But they're giving us the Bengals and the Giants. Tim, who do you got?
Oh, man. I'm going to tell you, I made these picks on Thursday thinking that Malik Neighbors was going to be playing. I'm a man of conviction, so I'm going to stick with my pick. It's just that Cincinnati has been outside of Joe Burrow. He hasn't. I think he leads the league in passing touchdowns, but it just doesn't seem like anything else is clicking in Cincinnati. Yeah, when the New York Giants has one more win than you do, it's got to be doing something better, I guess. On that alone, I'm going to go with the Giants.
Yeah, and something else that's not clicking is the Jacksonville Jaguars, as Chicago got another touchdown. They're looking at it. Looks like he's short.
I got it on
right
here
now,
saying it says on here they've got it, so I don't know, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The referees say it's a touchdown, but it looks like he's short.
Right.
But they're reviewing it because all scoring plays are reviewed.
Yep.
But I think he's short. Either way, I think they'll get a touchdown. If not, they said no good, second and goal.
Oh, he took it off.
Let's see. But yeah, I got the Giants in this one. I think this is not the Bengals' year. I don't think it's Jacksonville's year either, but I don't think it's the Bengals' year to go to the playoffs. I think they should just try different things. Not necessarily quarterback, but just try different things. Maybe it could help. And in our final game, it's a Monday night, but it's a big Monday night game for many reasons. You got Buffalo going to New York to take on the Jets. Tim, who do you got?
Well, I think what was this? A couple of seasons ago, we had this when Jeff Saturday came out, became the interim head coach at the time. Remember, they had this stat about the winning record of an interim head coach in their first game. I think it was, and it's like 85 or 86%. That by on its little lonesome, and right now they're playing for a division because they're playing against. They're only a game difference between the Jets and the Bills, which is funny. You fired your head coach and you're still second in your division, with basically everything else in control.
I know.
They bring in their defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, who was the middle linebacker in San Francisco, alongside the head coach of the Houston Texans. Matter of fact, they were played on the same team at the same time. I think Ulbrich is playing for a job, possibly to have the interim taken off. I am going to go with the odds, and I'm going to take the Jets.
I am glad I'm not the only one here. I got the Jets too. But Big B has the Bills.
Yeah.
Big B also has the Bengals, but he has the Bills. I'm glad I'm not the only one though, because you still have Rodgers there. Granted, he's not the same, but you still have Rodgers.
You still have Rodgers. You still have Breece Hall. You still have Garrett Wilson. You still have the core players you still have Conklin. You still have a Lazard. It's just at this point you have to, it's just putting it in the right spot.
But also you have your offensive coordinator demoted. I think there's a new play caller too.
Yeah, no Nathaniel Hackett.
But I don't think that should matter because you got Rodgers and he's been around for a while and he could be the offensive coordinator if he wants to.
Right.
If it doesn't work out. I've seen it before and it's worked out depending on the player, but
right, exactly.
It's just a lot on the line for New York going forward.
It's just way too much on the line this early in the season. But again, I'm not against if something doesn't work and you're still in the hunt of something, change it early. Don't change it late.
Yeah. And I think that's what they did. It's like, well, 45 games into the season, let's scrap everything and see what sticks.
Right, exactly.
And those are our game picks. Take them or leave them. Hopefully we did good. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
As for that, do you have a prime five?
I do not.
You do not.
I do not.
All right. No, you're good. You're good. What do you think have been the five best games this year? Just off the top of your head.
5 best games this year.
Yeah. Or impressive wins, I should say.
I think the two most impressive wins that I remember this year is that Week 1 New Orleans Saints game where they put up 40 some points. Week 2 against Dallas was huge for New Orleans. I think that was impressive. Who else am I thinking? The Giants, when the Giants beat the Giants beat the Ravens, was it?
I believe so, yeah. In overtime.
Yeah, I think it was week 2 or week 3. I want to think it was week 3. The Giants beat the Giants Browns game, because I had the Browns in that game and that was stupid. Right now, anything that Washington's doing right now is impressive. And honestly, I think the most impressive game that I think I've seen is Carolina when Carolina won their first game against that was week 3 as well, against the Raiders, where you had that's the first game after the benching of Bryce Young, where at the time, you had a 40-plus-year-old Andy Dalton come in and basically do something that no quarterback had done all year, which was throw for 300 plus and 3 touchdowns. And I think, and the other one I wanted, the week 1, I think the most impressive thing was Houston it's going to be 2 for that. Houston running against Indianapolis, putting Mixon having such that huge field day running the ball, and then the Green Bay game the week following when Josh Jacobs and that had put up 236 in the first half. I think those were the most impressive things I've seen pretty much most of the year.
I would agree with that. I mean, Dalton, he's a good quarterback, but so far he only had that one win. But that's as better as what Bryce Young has done.
Exactly.
So far. But they say he's not done in Carolina. I think he is, but
I think
he's not.
I think he sits. If they're smart, they keep Dalton for another year. Keep Young sit behind Dalton, because you know what that's what they did with Love behind Rodgers. I don't see anything wrong with sitting a quarterback for a year or 2 or 3.
Well, and the Packers do that anyways.
Yeah, they did that to Rodgers.
Yeah, and they did it to Favre.
No, Favre started. Favre, yeah, remember Favre?
Yeah, he started with the Falcons. Yeah,
started with the Falcons. He got traded. I think it was week 5 against the Bengals, and he had never lost the starting role after that. But yeah, it was Mikowski. You weren't losing the role to Mikowski in the 91, 92. You weren't losing the role to Mikowski up until the Bengals decided to bury him in Lambeau Field.
Yeah, but I thought it was funny too. He was with the Falcons, and his first pass was to himself.
His first and the funny thing is, most people don't realize this, that his last pass in Atlanta was an interception. His last pass in Green Bay was an interception. His last pass
with the Jets
was an interception. His last one in Minnesota was an interception.
Wow.
And his first touchdown reception in Atlanta was to himself.
Was it the same thing in Green Bay, New York, and Minnesota?
No. I know that would be. If I were the kid. Oh no. And the funny and the hilarious thing is, and the story about this was that Ron Wolf was with the Jets at the time, before he went to Green Bay. He was with the Jets, and he wanted Favre in New York. The year that he got drafted, he wanted Favre in New York, and Atlanta, against Jerry Glanville's recommendation, drafted Favre one pick before the Jets.
Brett Favre.
Right, and then Brett Favre. And it is hilarious because I have a buddy who I collect cards with, and he's like, "Yeah, I need to get this Brett Favre guy." And I'm like, "What?" And everything it was Falcon stuff. And he says, "Yeah, he's going to come to Green Bay, and I'm going to need everything he's got." I'm like, "Okay, no." And turned around, everything that I had. I mean, everything I had. And guess what? He becomes the Pro Bowl quarterback. He becomes the MVP. He becomes Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl award winner, or Super Bowl winner, and Hall of Famer. And I'm like, I'm never that good. I'm never that good to pick somebody like that.
You know, I think there's a radio station I listen to, and they kind of used cards, kind of like cards as stocks. You know what I mean? Like they'll check on the card's value, and it's like, well, this player could be really impactful. I'm not good at it, but
yeah.
And it's like, all right, you guys look into that more than most people.
Yeah, I watch a bunch of that stuff, and I'm like, there's a guy that I watch religiously that opens packs, and I think he's at this point the only guy who's on the Bryce Young bandwagon. And he tries to collect everything he can, but
I don't know what he sees in him, but okay. Going back to the Jets, I'm going to make him a lock.
Really? Oh well, yeah, you didn't have your lock, so yeah, that's a good one, and at least it's not the Cowboys and kind of screwing up your own team in the process. Good stuff.
Hopefully, New York can pull off the win.
Yeah,
they are at home though, so in its prime time. Any final information to go over?
Let's see. Evan Ingram is in the red zone. No, that's not it. It was like fantasy football.
You wish,
stuff.
probably.
Let's see. What do I got for news? No Zay Flowers. Flacco to start, like I said. No. Pittman is active versus the Titans. Cole Kmet still looking like a superhuman tight end. I've got nothing else.
What about Zamir White of the Raiders?
Zamir White, I think, is still. I think he is out. I want to say that Zamir White is still out. Why do you have him? You have him in fantasy football that you're hoping to start?
He was questionable. Well, I don't. I'm probably not going to. But he was questionable.
Zamir White is still questionable. Let me see if I can find any news on this guy.
Yeah, he was questionable.
He's unlikely to suit up for Week 6. So I'm going to say he's more on the doubtful side. This was 9 hours ago.
Bench already, but
yeah, you've got 3 spots there that need to be filled.
Yeah, I got Kirk Cousins as my starter quarterback.
Who are you facing this week?
Dragon Viper.
Oh, come on. You could start half your team and still beat Dragon Viper. I'm going to say this, the one day that Dragon Viper watches our show is going to see it. Mess Around. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Mess Around's got 4 players. 4 players. 104.8 points in 4 players. He's not starting a defense. He's not starting he's got the Dolphins defense. They're not starting. And that's it. That's it. Everything else he's good to go with.
That's risky, not starting a defense.
Well, he's on a bye week, so he can play however he wants. But he's like I am playing on a bye week.
See, I think you should get a win in your bye week, especially if you're playing against somebody.
Right. You need a tight end.
I have one.
Who? Don't say Travis Kelce, because Travis Kelce's out this week because he's on a bye week.
And I moved him. I have Sean Laporta. I have 2 tight ends.
Oh, you put him in the flex. Okay, well you're good then. You just flip your flex out and you throw Algerian maybe. That's the only guy you can possibly have left to play against Carolina. That's not a bad move, actually.
I got Alexander Madison as my running back. One of my running backs.
That's all right. You can win. You should win this game because his Jonathan Taylor is out.
Huh. Yeah, it could be. I also got Jets as the defense.
Oh, you'll be fine there.
Okay.
I'm not starting Cleveland against Philadelphia. You need to watch our shows on. You need to watch our shows on Wednesday. You're not starting here, so that's a good way to promote our show. If you guys want to not screw up your fantasy football team, don't watch our show. If you want to screw it up, come watch our show.
So right now the Bears are winning 35-16. Jacksonville just got a touchdown.
Yeah, with Evan Ingram, if I'm not mistaken.
It was a 17-play, 70 yards, took 5 minutes and 31 seconds off the clock. It's about 6:58 to go. So.
It's just I never understand that when you're down by that much. That's the thing I should get one of these days. Right. We got to have a question is why when you're down by 3 scores, why don't you play with more urgency? I just never get that.
And they're going for the 2-point conversion and failed.
Well, so now it's definitely 35-16.
Yeah. Did you see any college football yesterday?
No, but I thought I heard and saw that Ohio State decided to give one away to Oregon.
Yeah.
And Alabama almost gave another one away too. That is awesome. It's so great. Why do you have fallen?
Oklahoma gave one to Texas.
Oh, the Red really?
Yeah.
Who's well that sucks. I like the Red River Shootout. That's probably one of my favorite rivalry games.
It was I think it was 31-3.
They didn't give that away. They just decided to mail the score in. 35-3. Florida almost beat Tennessee if it weren't for overtime.
Yeah, there were several overtime games I looked at. It's like overtime.
Yeah,
overtime.
Ole Miss lost to LSU in overtime. Florida lost to Tennessee in overtime. Minnesota. When is Minnesota going to get ranked? Colorado lost. What's his name? Sanders.
Shadir.
Was it? I can't. Who was it that went out in that game?
I can't remember who. But
I can't either. But I know that one went out. One got hurt. Was it Shadir? No, I don't think it was Shadir. No. Who was it? It was somebody that I wasn't expecting. Feed. No, there's no feed. Who was it that went out? It was big too. It was one of the big ones. It was one of the big names. When I saw it, I was kind of shocked.
Oh, the two-way player?
It was a Colorado player. I just don't.
Right, and I think they have a two-way player.
Yeah, I think they do too. Which is Jackson? No, it's not Jackson. Hunter,
yeah.
I think Hunter went down.
I think he's gonna be a first-round pick.
I think he will be too. I think
maybe not overall.
No. I think he's probably the reincarnation of Charles Woodson. He's definitely not like the other.
Oh yeah.
He's definitely not like Jabril Peppers, but I think he's more like Charles Woodson.
And Jacksonville's going on onside kick.
Is this the first onside kick
Barely
this year?
kicked it, and it went to the Bear. Okay.
Is that the
No, it's
no?
like
That
the
was
fourth or fifth. But
that. Indy had one. Now that I think about it, Indy's had one. Indy had it in
Dallas is the only one that.
They're the only ones that successfully do one.
Yeah, the Cowboys were.
Jeez. Yeah.
And we went for 2 in one game and got one and missed one. So.
Oh, you guys are 50%. You guys are better than most teams out there.
Especially with the new rules. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least you won't have that surprise one like that was in the Super Bowl where New Orleans did one against Indy. I literally lost. I almost broke my brother's TV when that happened.
I was at the ferry yesterday during that Red River showdown. I can't say rivalry, but and there was a watch party, and Oklahoma was losing. Texas was far ahead, and
Right.
they turned the channel, and then the Texas the Oklahoma fan did that, and the Texas fan's like, "Hey," and they turned it back, and
I don't know how many times back. I don't know before. There used to be a time before Saturday, before Sundays, before morning Sunday season ticket, where you got lucky that you could only watch one game, and you're like, oh, you don't want to watch any other games, but you're watching your team get their butts destroyed, and all of a sudden it's like, well, this game's over. We're going to go to the New England Patriots versus the New York Jets, and I'm like, why? I didn't turn on the New York Jets and the New England Patriots. I watched the Colts get destroyed by the Miami Dolphins.
It's hard to keep up with college football because there's so many teams, so many conferences, and complicated ranking system.
It is, but it's pure. It's more pure than the NFL. Really.
That would be funny. All right, our power rankings will be based on the standings.
Oh no! Could you see that? Liberty all of a sudden is in the top 10 because they're 5-1.
Right.
Because the tiebreaker is the record against the conference.
Yeah. All of the tiebreakers are conference, right?
Yeah. All the tiebreakers are conference. Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's head-to-head first, then conference.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Well, at least it's more straightforward than the NFL.
Oh my gosh! Power, strength of schedule, power, like opponents, this, that, forget
head-to-head division conference. I think it's like strength of schedule, strength of victory, and then coin flip.
And then a coin flip, and hope you don't get that far where all of a sudden it's like where it should go to home wins, home losses, home record, home road record, and then it goes to a coin flip, and then all of a sudden it's like a game of blackjack.
It should be like points, total points or something like that.
Yeah, that should. If it gets down to that point, we should just put it to a vote like American Idol at this point.
Call in now. Your vote matters.
Yeah, kind of. Well, that was like Friday Night Lights, the movie of Friday Night Lights, where they lost due to a coin flip.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
But with that, let's end the show on final thoughts.
Thanks everybody. Thanks for everybody for watching. Applying pressure. That's what we call dragon fight. We're making picks in fantasy football. That being said, I've got Brad watch us on Tuesday. Big B and I will be on a show that we have gibbed C2C Rankum, where we rank many things. If you want to learn how to do fantasy football wrong, tune into the Couch's Fantasy Zone with Big B and I on Wednesday, and then it's Big B. Well, Big B when he's not at work or is before he goes in. But join Bacon and myself right back here for morning tailgate. Maybe we have special guests, Big Game James, maybe Big B. You never know. Maybe we have Jerry Jones on. I don't know.
That would be cool. Any fame, anybody.
Exactly.
But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. I would say enjoy the Bears and Jacksonville, what's left of it, but I think Bears already won that. So NFL action should be starting up soon. So get your snacks, get whatever, and enjoy football. And we'll be back next week for another edition of Morning Tailgate. Have a great football Sunday.